Hello Buconras, for today's video, Miss Universe Philippines 2023 frontrunners Michelle D at iba pang kandidata nagpatalbugan sa preliminary closed door interview.
Good morning, everyone.
Narito
Congratulations, you're halfway through. I'm usually the halfway mark for the provinces.
Tell us something interesting about yourself.
Thank you. Well, I am a lifelong advocate. I'm an actress. I'm an entrepreneur. But I think the most interesting part about myself is the willpower that I have in everything that I do. I wear very many hats. Actually, 2 weeks ago, I was in the hospital. I was fighting for my life because I lost so much blood. On my birthday, no less, and I had to undergo through surgery. But I think what I'm trying to inspire here is that with everything that I do, I put 100% of myself, and I realize that this is a mission, and that in all of those facets that I take on, I will always give it my all.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
Well, social media actually plays a very vital part in terms of, in social media negativity, and it can also spread a lot of positivity as well. I think we have to realize that all of us are very influential in our own right, whether it be negative and positive. And what I should do, and what I hope others will do also, is that we should be accountable for our actions. We should always be kind. One positive comment can go a long way, but one negative comment can also send somebody in tears. Thank you.
Wilmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, what does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, represent to you?
Well, the South Sea Pearl is an amazing thing, and I think it can actually represent every Filipino. For me, my pageant journey, for every time that I've joined, I've discovered something new about myself, something beautiful, and perfection takes time. And just like the South Sea Pearl, it takes months, if not years, to perfect that. And for every Filipina, we embody this kind of ambiance and this kind of perfection that we should really be proud to show the world.
How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
Well, I've actually really admired Smiley because it's a brand that empowers Filipino, because not only is it made by the Filipino but for the Filipino as well. For every shirt that is made by Smiley, it gives opportunities for Filipinos to have more jobs or to represent a brand that actually sets the standard, and it can really compete internationally. And I really believe that it's about time that we show the world that we have more products that can really compete and be proud of internationally.
And one last question is, how do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations, and what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
I think the best way to do that is by example. I am an empowered Filipina that respects my roots, respects where I came from. I am tenacious. I am dedicated with everything that I do. And that is something that I believe is present in every Filipino around the world. But at the same time, I am not afraid to break stereotypes. I am not afraid to break boundaries, whether in pageantry, I sported short hair, whether in my acting gigs, I would sport the most masculine job that represents adrenaline-filled activities. And that's something that I am very proud of, and I hope other people
Thank you
aspire
very
to do
much.
as well.
Good morning, Krishna.
Hi, Sir B.
Tell us something interesting about yourself.
I am now pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering and working as a digital marketer and Facebook ads specialist for real estate companies internationally. But prior to that, I ventured in different small businesses. As early as 14, I had to step up as the eldest daughter to help my family financially. So I ventured in different small businesses. I was selling lip tints, flavored drinks, bags, and clothes to my classmates to somehow cover my allowance as a high school student.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
Sorry?
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
I think someone is influential because she shows her vulnerability, because it takes braveness and courage to do so. Because in this life where criticisms and negativity is easily thrown at us, it's never easy to be vulnerable and show your weakness. So I admire every influential person who shows their vulnerability. Thank you.
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
As someone who is in the Gen Z, I always look up and I always look forward to the future or the fashion trends that we have right now. But I also would like to incorporate the history of our culture through my dresses or through my makeup or through what I wear every day. So in Baguio City, where history is very evident, and the culture and the arts, I always incorporate the history through my dresses.
Wilmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, what does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, mean to you?
For me, the South Sea Pearl means perseverance, resiliency, and undaunted. Because as someone who have been struggling in her journey, I see myself as one, because all throughout these years of struggling as an eldest daughter, I was able to rise up every time I fall. So those perseverance, resiliency, and undauntancy, I see that through myself and as a reflection of Golden Sea South Pearls. Thank you.
Smiley Apparel.
Hi. How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
I think it's very important for us to support our own, because as Filipinos, we have a lot to offer and we have to show it to the universe. And I believe that Smiley Apparel that sets the standards shows it really right now. And I saw every t-shirt that we've used, every hoodie. I see that the intricate and decorations of every t-shirts are so world class, and we have to show it to the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Baguio.
Thank you so much.
Krishna Marie Gravide.
Mayong buntag sa inyong tanan. I'm Hannah Rizarzoso from Cabanbaran City, province of Agusan del Norte. What's something interesting about myself is that I am a psoriasis warrior. I am a beauty queen with a skin disease, which is unconventional. However, I did not let this stop me from achieving my dreams. 5 years ago, I was covered all over my body with sores that bled and itch. However, I quickly rose above it because I want to use my story and experiences to empower those who are like me and those who do not necessarily have it but can relate to me. So I use that experience in order to come here in Miss Universe and transform lives and inspire others. I believe what makes someone influential are their values, especially if you are a person with integrity. If you're a person with integrity, it means you do everything right towards or right on what you think, and even if no one is looking. And I believe that is very important because we need this consistency so that people will then see results with our actions even if no one is watching us. One perfect example about this is what I experienced in Southern Leyte. It is a fusion between culture and modernization of our culture. They were able to quickly and efficiently merge both aspects, wherein a lot of the candidates have been able to appreciate it in the modern days. And so with these experiences, I can bring it forth the Miss Universe platform, and I know that I am rich in these experiences so that I will be able to offer this to the universe.
And now our question from Julmer.
The South Sea Pearl, as I've experienced back in Palawan, I've really appreciated how wonderful and how tedious it is to create one pearl. And I am known in this competition as a dark horse. They've never seen me in the national pageant, although I did do an online one, but I see myself as a South Sea Pearl, waiting and being cultivated every day by my experience, by my community, and by my family. And now I'm finally here showing the universe what I'm capable of, that I am beautiful and that I'm an inspirational Filipina. And that for me is what the South Sea Pearl gem represents.
Our question from Smiley.
Hello. How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
It is very essential because Smiley and supporting local products does not only help us in showcasing what Filipinos are made of, but it also helps us uplift our community by providing livelihood to our fellow Filipinos and contributing a lot towards our economy. And as an entrepreneur, I know what it feels like. I know the hard work and the patience and the value that you put in our community.
Thank you, Agusan del Norte.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, rather.
Good morning, Sam. Tell us something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting about myself is that I work for my family's business. And so at a young age of 10, I used to go to the office with my dad. And although during those times I didn't appreciate it as much, I think that gave me a voice, and my dad showed me that my voice mattered. And it really did have a long-lasting effect to the present.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
I think what makes someone influential is by their actions, because when you look at someone's social media, I don't think that the number of followers, comments, or likes should define them. What defines them is the actions that they take, and I am a firm believer. I even have a podcast called Walk the Talk, and I think that someone who aims to be influential should always do that.
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
I think to find the cultural traditions and to also modernize it, first we need to accept it. I'm from Cavite, and in Cavite they always say, basta Caviteña palaban. And so I think bravery is part of our values in our traditional Filipino, but nowadays I think bravery means something else. It means being able to stand up for yourself and break stereotypes, especially for women. I think that we do that on a daily basis. And so if we are able to find the dialogue between traditional and modern values, then I think that we can definitely apply both.
Wilmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, what does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, represent to you?
Well, the Philippines is of course known as the Pearl of the Orient, as it should, and rightfully so, because like the Philippines, it embodies beauty, simplicity, grace, and I think that not only describes the Philippines and the tourism spots that we have, but also our people. And so I think it's very, very important to preserve the pearls, because also looking at it from a financial or business point, it can compete with international markets as well in jewelry and high fashion. And so I think that to preserve the pearl means to immortalize our culture and to also promote it.
Miley Apparel?
How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
I think it's very, very important to support local. I'm an advocate for sustainable agriculture, and I know that weaving and harvesting also encompasses apparel. And so I think that it's very important to support local, because we need to provide more jobs for the Philippine market. Again, our economy is not the most stable, especially after COVID, and there's a lot of inflation right now. And so if we do support local and give our people jobs that they need, then I think that we can all aim for a better and prosperous life.
Thank you so much, Cavite.
Thank you,
Samantha
everyone. Have a great
Panilio.
day.
Good morning, Eman. Over here.
There you are. Good morning, everyone.
Tell us something interesting about yourself.
Well, I'm a woman of many interests, as my ADHD made sure of. I am a singer-songwriter, an actress, a host, but I'm also an adventure enthusiast, an outdoorsy person, and a bookworm, and a huge nerd. So I'd like to think that I experience the best of both worlds.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
To me, an influential woman is someone who is a leader, who leads by example, and who doesn't merely use words, but who fortifies her words with actions, and someone who cares for her community and uses her platform to maximize that and to be of service to her fellow man. And so for me, an inspirational woman is just that, someone who steps out of her comfort zone to serve her community.
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
Well, I'd like to think I'm a pretty traditional girl. I hold fast really to the values that my parents have imbued in me since childhood, but also I continuously shoot for the stars in an ever-shifting world. So the advice that I would give to other young ladies is to be courageous in marrying both worlds, to glean what they can from the best of both worlds, and not to be afraid to go against the grain or the trend.
Wilmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, what does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, represent to you?
Well, as a sustainability advocate, it really is a representation of the importance of conserving our environment, our biodiversity, our various ecosystems, because of the beautiful treasures that they produce. And as a mental health advocate, for me, it's a reminder that the most stunning things can come out of grueling processes if we approach them with love and with care, and we don't give up.
Miley Apparel.
How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
I think it is of utmost importance that we look after our own, that we care for our kababayans, that we ensure that our economy is thriving, and that Filipinos are offered the opportunity to have livelihood, that SMEs and big businesses that are local alike have the opportunity as well to succeed. It is important that we look after our own. That is of utmost importance. Let's make sure that the Filipinos thrive and we promote our local businesses because, let's face it, Filipinos are world-class anyway, so why not?
Thank you so much. Cebu Province, Emmanuel Vera.
Good morning.
When you hear the bell ring, you know what that means. Tell us something interesting about yourself.
So I am an Indigenous livelihood advocate, and I myself have Indigenous roots from the Mandaya tribe. And what I'm wearing right now is actually in honor of the Mandaya tribe. It is made with abaca fiber, abaca fabric, and the main source of income of the Mandaya tribe is abaca farming. And it's such a beautiful thing, so I wanted to honor them as the core of my Miss Universe journey with what I'm wearing today.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
Someone influential is someone who has a higher purpose. And I found mine with supporting the livelihood of our indigenous communities. I connected the Mandaya tribe that I am a part of to the Department of Labor and Employment's Livelihood Assistance Program to accelerate and support their abaca production because this is such a big part of their culture. And from what I've learned all these years, I started my advocacy 2 years ago, and I learned that supporting their livelihood also means sustaining their culture.
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
I consider myself a modern Filipina, but I am still grounded by Filipino values such as respect for our family, the warmth and hospitality of Filipinos. But at the same time, I am vocal about my causes, and I think these are traits of a modern Filipina. So if there's any advice I could give is that to embrace their individuality, but don't forget their roots of what it means to be a Filipina.
Wilmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, What does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, represent to you?
Seeing the entire process firsthand in Palawan, I really noticed how beautiful it is and how it reflects our Filipino traits. And as an advocate for livelihood and cultural preservation, I know how important it is to preserve our national gems for future generations. And so I'm so proud and happy that Jewelmer has partnered with Miss Universe Philippines.
Smiley Apparel.
How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
So, like the abaca fabric that I'm wearing, Smiley Apparel is also proudly Filipino. It celebrates Filipino craftsmanship, but it is of world-class quality, and I am so proud that we have that here in Miss Universe Philippines. And I hope that with the girls wearing the shirts and the apparel, we could also encourage Filipinos to support what is ours, because this can also support the livelihood of our Filipino workers in our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Davao Oriental, Cliza
Thank you so
Ferrando
much.
Castro. Tell us something interesting about yourself.
Oh, I don't ever get to tell this story, but one interesting fact about myself is that I am a miracle baby. My mother gave birth to me when she was in her menopausal age of 41, and I almost didn't have a shot in this life. So it makes me the risk taker that I am now, because having that fear of not experiencing what life had to offer pushed me to really step out of my comfort zone and even take risks.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
When we think of the word influence, sometimes we associate it with a grand scheme of things, when in fact we have always been very influential, even in our smaller, closer circles rather. And so I think that if we use this influence to make social media what it is, if we share our stories, push for our advocacies, and make these purpose into actions, then we're able to not only influence within the realm of social media, but even beyond the universe.
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
Our traditions and our cultural heritage has shared with us and inculcated in us values that we could use to propel ourselves during globalization or even modern times. It is in the way that we make the most out of our Filipino values to show that we are globally capable and able to keep up with the times, that we are able to show that we could be a marriage of both our traditions and the ever-changing times.
Jewelmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, what does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, represent to you?
We've had a trip in Palawan, and it really ignited the fire and the meaning of pearl for me, that a pearl is not just a cultural heritage or a part of the cultural heritage rather of our country, but it signifies pure passion, pure hard work, and perseverance. It is a journey that is not only taken by one to become a pearl, but through the help of many hands to become the pearl that it is. And so I see the South Sea Pearl as a symbol of us Filipinos who are strong.
Smiley Apparel?
How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
When we support local, we do not only provide a sustainable livelihood, but also we honor the hard work, the effort, and the time put into creating these products. And we also honor what it truly means to become Filipino when we support local products. And so I hope we would step out and really rally for locally produced products and honor them and celebrate it as our own.
Thank you so much, Pampanga.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
Angelique Manto. Good afternoon, CJ.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Tell us something interesting about yourself.
Well, I am Christine Juliano Piazza. I'm 24 years old. I'm a model, a host, a content creator, and now I'm living my dream as a passerella coach. I am the eldest among other siblings. We're actually siblings. Yeah. And I'm a proud breadwinner.
What makes someone influential in this day and age amidst the shallow social media noise?
I believe what makes someone influential is when she takes that space and that opportunity to be someone who finds her purpose and makes something out of that purpose, to be of service to others, and to always create something of change and be a ripple of inspiration for others. That for me is someone who's influential.
How do you balance cultural and traditional values with modern day aspirations? And what advice would you give to other young Filipinas navigating this challenge?
Our culture depicts our identity as Filipinos. And as we live in the knowledge economy era, me as part of the modern day age, how we can balance is to truly look back on how we were nurtured for the past generations and embrace that identity as Filipino. And it's my responsibility as someone living in the modern age to embrace this discipline. And that is my responsibility to share it to the future generation.
Wilmer?
As a delegate for Miss Universe Philippines 2023, what does our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, represent to you?
Well, for me, our national gem, the South Sea Pearl, is something that is so precious and incomparable. Just like us humans, we go through a lot of process, our growth. We thrive, we fall down, we rise back up, we stand back up. Just like how the gems were nurtured, it went through a lot of process. The craftsmanship of every single Filipino to make it so precious and incomparable, just like us.
Smiley Apparel.
How important do you think it is to support and promote locally made products like Smiley in the Philippines?
As a business administration graduate, I believe that the best way for us to market our local products is to truly make use of it as a visual representation, and also, of course, give appreciation and recognition to the craftsmanship and the artworks of every single Filipino. And I think we will be able to further our products in the entire global.
Thank you so much, Zambales. CJ Opiaza.
Thank you so much.
And
Have a
thank you
great
to your
lunch,
brooch
everyone.
and the 3 people looking at me right now.
Don't forget to hit the notification